All parties on Shula versus Shula. Step forward, please.
28-year-old administrative assistant Julie Schuler is suing her estranged husband, 32-year-old Dana Schuler, and his mother, Dorothy Schuler, for her belongings after she moved out. Dorothy claims Julie owes her money.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 694 on the calendar in the matter of Schuler versus Schuler. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Okay. Mrs. Schuler, this is your former husband. Are you currently in the process of getting a divorce, or are you already divorced?
Getting divorced.
And you are his mother?
Yes.
Your lawsuit alleges that when you separated and moved out of the home where you were living, and the home belonged to you, is that
Yes.
right? Certain of your property was left, both your property that you had before you were married, as well as the gifts, your wedding gifts from your side of the family. You want your property back.
Right.
Why shouldn't she have her property back?
When she was moving up, before they were married, she called and asked me to write a check for the moving van, and that she would pay me as soon as she came to town. I had no relationship with Julie other than the fact that she was with my son. 2 different occasions she said, as soon as I get to town, I will pay you. I have never been paid for it. Here is the copy of my canceled check where I paid it. I have repeatedly asked her to pay it, and she has repeatedly neglected to do so. There is also rent that was never paid. There are vet bills that were never paid.
Is that why you didn't return her property to her?
No.
Well, then, but that's...
The biggest reason I didn't return it to her is because she called me. She said, I'm sending a moving van up Wednesday. Have my stuff ready. She had left. I took the stuff. I had to physically move it, store it in my garage. I don't know what's hers. I don't know what's his. And I see no reason why, given my age and state of health, that I should pack and go through all of this rigmarole for something that she says belongs to her.
Well, she's absolutely right. If you want your stuff moved, you have to go back and figure out what's yours and what's not yours. Why should she do that?
It's all marked in boxes. It's all labeled.
So
I packed it all myself.
So what you're telling me is you actually packed it?
I packed everything.
No, ma'am, she didn't.
Just a second. She says she packed her things. Your complaint was that why should you go through all of those things and have to pack for her? And I absolutely agreed with you, Mrs. Schuler.
Yeah.
But she says she packed everything, and everything she wants are in boxes with her name on it. Is that right?
Yep.
She did not do that. When I was told by my son...
Just a second. Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Are there boxes in your garage with your wife's name on it?
There are.
How many?
You know, I'm not real clear. Unfortunately, some of the stuff was not packed by her. That's not entirely true. I was out of town, so she packed some, and then she decided to take off and go out of town on her own thing. My parents were good enough, since I was on a business trip, to finish packing the house and move everything into the garage. All their things are integrated in the garage. Since she did pack, there's possibly some of the things are mine. I really don't know.
What do you mean possibly some of the things?
Well,
did you go through all the boxes, Mr.
I
Schuler?
haven't. That's the thing. I really haven't gone through all of this stuff because, again, I wasn't there when it was packed. I've gone down a few times and gone through some things to try and find some of my own belongings. And yeah, I do see boxes that just say just Julie, but does that mean that it's all hers? I don't necessarily agree with that. Some were wedding presents to both of us. I mean, it's really, we would need to sit down, the two of us, and go through all this.
I absolutely agree with you. Do you understand?
Yes.
What you have to do is you have to make a trip there, sit down with your husband, not your mother-in-law, and go through the things and see if you can resolve what's yours and what's his.
Right.
That sounds pretty simple.
Right.
So what's your problem?
I don't have a problem.
Good, because I can't make a judgment as to whether the stuff that's there is yours or not. He's absolutely right. Just because you packed it doesn't mean he's prepared to say that everything in there is yours.
I gave him a list, and he agreed everything on the list was mine.
Did she give you a list?
Yeah, she faxed a copy of a list. A lot of the things I do agree with. However, where's that list? You know, a lot of things like skis, stereo equipment, odds and ends. what I don't agree with were some of the things on there, in particular wedding gifts, things we acquired together.
Now, wedding gifts. Let's talk about this reasonably.
Yeah.
It seems to me when a marriage breaks up, there are lots of ways to deal with wedding gifts.
True.
Wedding gifts are given to a couple. I mean, can you make a decision now that the wedding gifts that came from her side of the family are hers, and the wedding gifts that came from your side of the family are yours?
For the most part, there's only really one thing that I completely disagree with, if I was to argue, would be the television, which actually was a wedding gift to us from her father. The question was put to me, what would I like from her father? What would we like? And it was a large television. When she left, we had bought a dog for my son together, and we had the dog and had raised it from a puppy.
You'll tell me about the dog in a second.
Sure.
That's part of the counterclaim.
Sure.
What you're telling me, Mr.
The dog
Schuler,
with the TV is the only thing, because she got the dog, I got the TV. That was the agreement, period.
No, did you agree with him that if... No, you didn't. I don't think you make an agreement for a TV for a dog.
No.
It wasn't a great agreement. It was something I was happy about.
No, it wasn't a great agreement. Listen
I'd rather
to
have
me.
the dog.
It's what he wanted.
Listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
The TV was bought by her father.
Mm-hmm.
Did you buy anything for them?
I bought, well, I should say, my husband and I bought a lot of groceries to get them started.
Things. I'm not talking about groceries. They ate the groceries.
Things. I bought some electrical kitchen appliances.
Well, those things that if you bought them, your son's going to keep.
Yeah, that's between them. I don't want any part of that.
Fine. Mr. Schuler, her father bought the TV. Buy another TV.
Fine.
Good.
Judge Julie Schuler is suing her estranged husband, Dana Schuler, and his mother, Dorothy Schuler, for her belongings.
All right, now let's get to this cross-complaint. How long were you together after you moved up from where you had been living?
6 months.
Okay. Did you call Mrs. Schuler and ask her to borrow money for a van?
Yes.
Did you pay it back?
I gave her some money for it, yes.
How much did you give her?
$150.
Did you give her $150 in check or cash?
I believe it was in cash.
Okay. Did she give you any money towards that amount?
No, ma'am.
When did you give it to her?
After I got a job when I moved up there.
Okay. What else do you claim she owes you for? Because the countersuit is yours.
Okay. There is $4,800 in back rent due.
Let's hear about the back rent. She lived there for how many months?
Okay, she moved in March. My son was already living there.
Already living in the house.
Yes, I had
How
rented
long
it
had he
to
lived
him.
in the house?
He rented it in January.
And what was the rent he was paying?
$800 a month.
Mr. Schuler, is that correct?
That's correct.
And you claim that he was paying you the $800 a month.
Not at that time, no. He had been injured on the job and wasn't
So
working.
he wasn't paying you rent.
Not at that time.
Pay attention, Mrs. Schuler. Now, she moved up there.
Yes.
She had to borrow the money to move there, you say, from you, which she agrees. She borrowed $650 from you. On the day that she moved in, or before, did you have an agreement with her about paying rent?
I would
The
say
answer
it was
is either
about
yes or no.
a week later.
What happened a week later?
I said the rent is $800 a month and the two of you are going to have to pay the rent because I can't afford to support you.
Okay, and what did she say to you?
She said, fine.
That's not a contract. That's not a contract. The contract is you have a lease. Your lease is 6 months. Your lease is month to month. You're each responsible for half the rent. You pay $400. He pays $400. What I'm getting is she moved up there to live with your son. Your son was living in your home. He wasn't paying rent. She comes up there, and you were at some point became annoyed that the rent wasn't being paid. You had a discussion with her, but you didn't enter into a rental agreement with her. And in addition to that, how many months did she live there?
Too many.
How many months did she live there, Mrs. Schuler?
About 6 months, yeah.
6 months. At $800 a month, you claim that she owes you the full rent, $4,800. That's what your countersuit says.
Okay.
Even if I believed you that you had a rental agreement with her, which I don't, why would you want to charge her for all the rent?
I don't.
Well, that's what you say here, ma'am.
The only
I'm looking
way...
at your I'm looking at your counterclaim. You say $4,800 in back rent.
Yes, of which half would be hers.
That's not what you say here. You say total back rent, $4,800. Moving expenses, $800. You just told me it was $650.
No, $650.
No.
I wrote it down, $650 here.
And unpaid vet bills.
Yes.
$1,050.
Yes. She called.
So A, I find as follows, that she does owe you money for moving expenses.
May I tell you a little bit more on the rent? They had a sub-renter who paid me $200 a month. He was there 4 months. So that dropped the rent to them to $600.
Okay, so according to you now, the entire rent was $4,800, which you're attributing to her, but you didn't put in here that there was a sub-renter who paid 200 times 4 is
I
$800.
had deducted
Just a
that.
second, $800. You did not deduct that from your counterclaim. So that would bring it down to $4,000, right? And even if I believed you that you entered into an agreement with her, her share of the rent would only be half, which would only be $2,000. So I'm having some problems with you, Mrs. Schuler. I just think that you are interjecting yourself into whatever's going on here, and you probably shouldn't. Now let's talk about the vet bills. Who paid the vet bills?
I did.
The two of you had a dog?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. The dog got sick?
Yeah, had parvo.
Okay.
It was a puppy.
Okay. Who asked your mother for money?
Julie.
I did.
What did you say to her?
I asked her to split it with my father, the money for the vet bill for the dog so she doesn't die.
Okay. And how much was the total vet bill?
It's $1,100.
Okay. Show me proof that you gave her, you say $1,050 for the vet bills.
She had those receipts. I didn't, ma'am.
Are you her father?
Yes.
Step up here, sir. Did you pay for any part of these vet bills for the dog?
Yes, I did.
How much did you pay?
Julie has the figures here. I think it was about $600 or $700 all told.
They were in Southern California. I'm in Northern California, which is why I don't have any records.
I paid for the
The
dog.
records you keep with you. The records travel. Now, how do you know how much she paid?
The Visa is his, the MasterCard is hers, the check is mine, and the cash was ours together.
How much was the MasterCard? I see Visa, 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 Visa. You don't have the Visa, is that right?
Oh,
Most of this stuff is paid by Visa, madam.
all I could do was go back by the numbers and know whether it was mine or not. I won't argue with her.
Well,
It's
I
not
will
worth
tell you
it.
right now, the only MasterCard payment is $228.79, not $1,000. How many children do you have, Mrs. Schuler?
5.
Any of them married?
All 5.
Okay. I don't know how you get along with the other in-laws, but clearly this is not...
Wonderfully.
Well, this is not a good thing. This is not a
no.
good thing, and I have a
It
sense that your
started
son is
out
right in the
good.
middle, and he's very embarrassed by the whole thing.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Cases, real people. Judge Judy. Julie Schuler is suing her estranged husband, Dana Schuler, and his mother, Dorothy Schuler, for her belongings.
So far, I find that she owes you $500 for the moving expenses and $228.79 from the vet bills.
And there was also $1,000 charged to a credit card for an engine put in a vehicle during the time they were married.
Who asked you to do that?
He asked me just to put my card up as security, and they weren't supposed to. They were supposed to have paid for it, and instead I got stuck with it.
Sue your son. You know, if your son asks you to put something on a credit card, then you put something on a credit card.
And she did agree to pay the rent.
Mrs. Schuler, I'm trying to be as nice to you as possible. You filed a paper before me in which you say she owed you $4,800 in back rent. That's what you signed. That's what you swore to. Quiet and listen. $4,800 is the entire rent for the property for 6 months. Your son lived there. Not only did your son live there, but you had another renter that was living there that was giving you money, $200. I find it very difficult to believe what you're telling me, Mrs. Schuler. You should butt out and let them resolve their differences without you. Now, you're going to get your property back. You're going to have to make a trip. I strongly urge you not to be there when she comes up to separate whatever property there
problem.
is. So I think that that's a very good idea. I have a sense, Mrs. Schuler, that the plaintiff and your son would be able to resolve this almost amicably and without a lot of stress if you weren't there. All right, on your counterclaim, I'm awarding you $1,028. You're going to get all of your property back. All right? Now, why don't you sit down? Why don't you sit down? I am calling the next case. Would you call that case, please?
Judge, this is case number 701 on the calendar in the matter of Noosa versus Schuler.
Mr. Noosa, according to your complaint, you loaned the defendant money
Yes.
prior to the marriage.
Yes.
What was the money for?
I initially loaned the defendant $3,500 as a retainer for a lawyer to get custody and visitation for his son, which he didn't have at the time.
Okay, so you asked him for money.
I did not ask him for money.
How did that happen?
My soon-to-be ex-wife asked him for the money and convinced me that it was something he could afford and something he could do. And we all went forward with it. I was kind of reluctant, to be quite honest, because of the kind of money that was involved. I mean, it's a very nice gesture, and it means a lot to me to this day. However, it's one of those things that...
Mr. Nusser, did you ever have a discussion with the defendant with regard to this $3,500?
Yes.
Tell me when that occurred and what you said to him and what he said to you.
When I agreed to loan him the money, they were sitting in my den, he and my daughter. I made it very clear this was a loan to him and had nothing to do with my daughter, and it was a loan, not a gift.
Did you say that while you were all together in the room?
Yes.
Does that sound familiar to you, Mr. Schuler?
I believe so.
Did he say to you, this is a loan to you?
He did say it was a loan.
Fine. Good. That's it. $3,500. How much did you pay back?
$200.
Is that right?
No. The loan that's in dispute here was a subsequent loan to him. He came to me alone on January 23rd and said he had found a house because the custody order he got required a separate bedroom for his son, Alec. They found this house in Woodland Hills, and they didn't have the first and last month's rent. I once again explained to him this was a loan, not a gift. He agreed to that, and I wrote him a check on that date for $3,000. Since the initial loan was made on September 24th, I have received one payment in the form of a check for $175 in December from his mother. And this is the check for the loan that's in dispute.
Yes, sir. I'll hear you on this.
That was something, again, that Julie had asked on our behalf to be borrowed, and what Bill said to me when he gave the check over was, I am loaning this to you, not my daughter. I totally disagree with that.
Just a second.
Completely.
Did he tell you that?
He told me that, and I never agreed to it, and I don't agree with it still.
No, you did agree to it, Mr. Schuler. You did agree to it, sir, because if he says to you, I'm loaning this money directly to you, not your daughter, then you agree to it, Mr. Schuler,
Okay,
because
if that's what it means, I agree.
Because you took the check.
Okay.
Now, if you said, I don't agree with that it's for both of us,
I just don't think I responded. I think I just took the check.
then you, by your action, sir, you created a contract.
Okay.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
I find right now $3,500, $3,000 is $6,500 less $175, which was paid.
Yes.
$63.25.
That's right.
Now, when you moved out of the premises, there was money returned.
Right.
How much?
$3,000.
What did you do with it?
He took $2,000, put it down in his apartment that he got with the roommate that we had at that house.
Does that sound familiar?
No, it doesn't.
How much do you think she gave you?
I honestly think it was around $800.
Could it have been $1,000?
It could have been $1,000, but it's right around that. It wasn't any
Well,
more than
whatever
that.
it is, if
Right.
it was anywhere around $1,000, sir, you're well over the limit. What Mr. Nusser is asking for in this judgment is $5,000. Clearly, you owe him that. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Your Honor, this is case number 363 on the calendar in the matter of King versus Collier. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Miss King, according to what I've read, the defendant was your former boyfriend. First, you say about a little more than a year ago, he had an accident with your car, which you paid for, which he said he would take care of. Then you claim to have expended a certain amount of money for remodeling of a condo that he had purchased, also with the agreement that he would pay you back. When you broke up, somehow you got him to sign a promissory note for all this money, for I think $3,200. Mr. Collier says the following. He said that you caused the accident to the car yourself, that he never borrowed any money from you, that the remodeling that you did to the condo, which had belonged to his uncle, was your own choice. The only reason he says that he signed this promissory note was that you were holding some money of his that you had gotten your hands on. You told him you wouldn't give him the money unless he signed the note. So he signed the note under duress. That's your defense.
Yes, Your Honor.
When was this accident with the car?
It was back in July of 2001.
And tell me about the accident with the car.
We were leaving a parking garage in Ybor City, and we were looking for the ticket that you give the attendant whenever you leave, and we couldn't find it, and we had pulled in already, so he went to back up, and as he backed up, he tore the whole bumper off the front of the car.
So it's the bumper that you're talking about?
Correct.
You remember that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. I don't remember it that way, though.
Who was driving?
I was driving.
Okay. So do you have insurance?
Yes.
So did the insurance cover the damage?
No, my deductible was $500, and it only cost $335.
Okay. Did you agree to pay that?
I never agreed to pay that, Your Honor.
So give me your version of the events. You are driving, the bumper comes off the car. How did the bumper come off the car?
I actually wasn't driving. We had gone to the
You
parking
just told me you were driving.
Oh, I was in the driver's seat. We had just backed out of the parking garage spot that I was in, that she had parked in.
Yeah.
And the angle that I pulled back, that, you know, having no idea how she had left the wheel cocked, it caught on the edge of the wall and it ripped her bumper off.
The wall didn't move, sir. The car moved.
I agree, Your Honor.
Good. Okay. So that's $335. Did you ever say that you would pay to have that bumper repaired?
No, Your Honor. The reason I agreed or told her I wouldn't pay her back for that is the fact
Would
that...
or would not?
Would not. Is because she was drunk. Too drunk to drive, asked me to drive, handed me the keys, and that's the only reason I was driving. I was trying to do her a favor.
Is it true that you gave him the keys to the car because you had been drinking?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Don't drink. What's next?
I had loaned him, actually first he started living with me and he agreed that he would pay a third of the rent and a third of the utility bills.
For how many months?
Just for 1 month.
And what's the rent?
It was $800 and we divided it and he would have paid $266 for the rent and it was $74 for a third of the utility bills. And he also borrowed money to pay his car payments and he borrowed money to pay his cell phone bills.
What was his car payment?
I don't have that written down exactly.
$158.73, Your Honor.
And I paid it quite a few times. And I probably have paid it more times than I had even...
I can't keep track of that. What kind of a way is that to have a loan, madam?
Because I was dating him, and that's things that you do.
And then finally, we have the stuff for the apartment. Let's hear about the stuff for the apartment.
It was for a condo that his uncle owned, and we had agreed that he would move in. I was still living with my roommate, so I couldn't move out at the time. And I said that we agreed that whenever time came that my lease would be up, that I would buy the place from his uncle, and that's why I would do the remodeling, and that he would also pay for that.
That you would buy the place from his uncle?
Mm-hmm.
You?
Yes, later.
You, not the two of you, you would buy the place for his uncle, so you were going to remodel it for when you bought it?
Correct.
Had you discussed that with his uncle?
No.
Just with him?
Just with him.
Well, what made you think his uncle wanted to sell it?
He discussed him buying it from his uncle.
He owned or leased it to me, Your Honor. So he was selling it to me.
And you discussed selling it to her?
Yeah, yes, Your Honor, yes.
And that's why she decided to remodel it. Is that right?
Correct, Your Honor.
And then you decided not to sell it to her. Is that right?
No, she left, Your Honor.
Or she left. Whatever. Listen, I'm telling you this, Miss King. I'm unimpressed with all of these loans that you claim. Without a promissory note, the one that you say you have,
yes, I do, Your
you
Honor.
wouldn't get any money. I'm going to tell you why. Because if you remodel this place in anticipation of you purchasing it, so you were really remodeling it for yourself, there was no loan to him of that money. You remodeled it because you were going to live there. That was your foolishness. You don't remodel a place until the title of it is in your name.
Correct.
You want to do it fast? You do it fast. That's your problem. So now I'm going to take a look at the promissory note. Okay, so I have a promissory note for $3,200, sir, that you signed.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, let me hear the circumstances surrounding you signing this promissory note.
She left on the 4th, and when she left, she had some cash in my with
4th
her.
of?
March. When she did so, she didn't realize, I think, that she had some cash with her that I needed for my mortgage payment due on the 7th.
Mortgage for what?
To my uncle.
You mean your rent?
Well, he's taking it off the principal, so he's holding the note for me. But the mortgage payment was due on the 7th, and on the 4th she left with my cash. I couldn't raise the $350.
How did she get your cash?
I was having her hold it for me. I think we were going to deposit
But
in
you
the bank.
speak slowly, sir. I can't follow
sorry.
you. I'm old.
Yes, Your Honor. She had my cash with her because she was holding it for me so that I would not spend it.
How much cash was she holding?
$350.
Okay, go ahead.
And on the 8th, a day after my mortgage was late, she agreed to go ahead and give me the cash, but only if I would sign the promissory note. Since I know their means of getting the cash that quickly, I went ahead and signed the note.
Did you have his money?
Yes, Your Honor. He had been staying at my place and left it.
And so you took the money and said you want your money back? Is that right?
Well, it was in my...
No, you want your money back? You're going to sign this note.
Correct, Your Honor.
Is that what happened?
Yes.
That's duress. You can't do that.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And later today, Sherry King says her ex-boyfriend, Keith Collier, owes for damage to her car and unpaid loans. Keith says he owes her nothing.
As I said to you before, Miss King, but for the promissory note, I would find that there was never a loan made. With regard to the automobile, you were drunk, which is the reason he drove. He's backing out of a spot, not purposefully.
He wasn't backing out of a spot. He was backing out of the actual toll booth that he
Whatever.
had pulled into. I did not pull into there, Your Honor.
Whatever it was. But for the fact that the two of you had broken up, there's not a question in my mind that we would not be here over this bumper damage to the car. When you drive a car, you drive someplace, you go out, you're not supposed to get drunk so you can't drive at home. Okay? I don't know how much he had been drinking that evening, whether he had been drinking more than you or less than you. I assume that he had been drinking some too, which means that you're both stupid. Then we come to the bills. Bills that you say, well, he said he would pay me some rent, and then I paid for his car payment. I paid a lot of times. I paid his car payment more than once. I'm not sure about how many times. I don't get involved with that. This is a court. You're supposed to say, on September 1st, 1999, I paid a car payment. On September 16th, the year 2000, I made a car payment for him. I have that all written down here. This is his car payment. He asked me to please advance it, and if I would, he would pay me back in a month. That's not what this is all about. This is about a boyfriend and girlfriend situation where you give him money. I don't know whether he ever gave you money.
No, Your Honor.
Probably not. Well, that means that you're not too... Right? The only thing that you thought that you did that was clever was having him do the promissory note for all this money that you thought he owed you. The only problem is you forced him to sign it. You were withholding his property. And if you withheld his property and said, unless you sign this note, I'm not going to give you the property, that is duress. So you get zippo, nada, nothing. Your case is dismissed. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Just hopefully no one will ever have to deal with him the way I had to deal with him,
I'm glad to see that justice was served.
because he's a loser and he will scam anyone out of anything.
I feel bad that Ms. King feels like she was ripped off and misled by me.
Every week he would say that he would pay me the money, and then he would say, oh, I spent it on this or I spent it on that, and never came through with it.
I'm sorry that I had to come to a court battle. She could have settled it outside very easily.
Don't give money to anyone unless you have anything signed, and don't deal with idiot con artists like that.
Worked out pretty well for me, didn't it?
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Barrios versus Rivera, step forward, please.
15-year-old student Wandalise Barrios and her mother, social worker Maria Barrios, are suing Wandalise's boyfriend, 18-year-old Eric Rivera, and his mother, business owner Miriam Rivera. Maria says Miriam ran her off the road and vandalized her car.
Miss Barrios, is this your daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
Sit down. And is this your son?
Yes, ma'am.
You sit down. Miss Barrios, it's your claim that Mrs. Rivera vandalized your car with you in it. Is that right?
That's correct.
And Miss Rivera says that she was angry, but she did not, in fact, damage your car at all. Now, what I gather is that your daughter was dating her son. Correct. These two.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And it's your claim that Mrs. Rivera didn't like the idea of her son dating your daughter. Is that true?
Yes,
by the
ma'am.
way? You weren't happy with this
Correct.
relationship. So why don't you tell me what happened on the day that your car was allegedly vandalized?
On July 3rd, her son called my daughter, and they want to meet us in the fireworks.
Okay, so it was July 4th weekend, there were fireworks.
On the 3rd,
And
yes.
did he come to your house or did you pick him up?
And we met him in the fireworks in Altamont.
Is that right? You met where at a park or something where they were having fireworks?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You watched the fireworks, and then you were ready to go home?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Good. Now tell me what happened.
Okay, when we dropped him off in his house, the defendant, she drove in front of my car, and she started yelling, threatening, and she tried to break my window, and her son came up and went right there in front of us.
Just a second. She's in her car, you're in your car.
Correct.
Did she get out of her car?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you get out of your car?
No, Your Honor.
You stayed in your car, but she pulled up in front of you, cut you off,
Correct. Yes, Your Honor.
and got out of her car. What about her son? Did he get out of the car?
We dropped him already. He was in his house.
Okay, so he came out of the house.
He ran out of the house, and he stepped between the defendant and I, right there by the window, because she tried to break the window with her
Elbow.
elbow.
And you're sitting in the driver's seat.
Yes, ma'am.
Then what did she do?
And I did not respond to her request because the prior incident that I have with her, that she assaults me. So I did not respond to her request. And
She wanted you to get out of the car?
yes, that way she could fight me. So I did not get out of the car, and I told my daughter, let's leave here, because prior to that, she grabbed since I don't open the window, she grabbed my windshield wiper. She smashed it because she was really mad and broke it. And then with her both fists, she was really pissed and bumped my car. So at that time, I told my daughter, let's get out of here, let's report it. I went on reverse, I left the scene. She continued following me to my house. That's what I found out. I went to the police report, and I reported. And I put an injunction on Miss Rivera.
You have photographs of the car?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can I see it, please? Are you two young people still dating each other or not?
Yes.
So I assume you don't want to be here.
No.
You don't want to be here.
No.
You don't want to be here. Is that right?
No.
Okay. Okay. Ready to hear you.
Well, the incident on actually the 3rd of the morning of the 4th of July happened all because my son and his girlfriend, Diana, was attending my child who's mentally handicapped and my daughter, which is 11 years old. This lady had the audacity to go out there and pick him up, left my two children alone with another 17-year-old child when he and her were supposed to watch my children, where my son walked away and got lost in the park where the fireworks were. And it was almost 2 in the morning by the time I was able to pick up my children from the park in the traffic. And when I got home, she was just dropping him off without no permission of mine, no knowledge where my son was. And I knew he was with her because his girlfriend, Diana,
That's not Diana.
No, that's not Diana.
He has 2 girlfriends.
Yes. And it might be 3, but right now 2. Anyway, when I got home, yes, I was very furious, capable of, even if she would have got out of the car, I would have smacked her really good, because how a mother could leave a child who is mentally handicapped.
And just slap him.
Well, I did that.
Why just slap him? What are you slapping her for?
Because she's the adult. She should have left him where he was.
Just a second. You're not claiming she picked him up at your house.
No, she went behind my back as a parent and picked him up in the park.
How do you know that? That she went behind your back? How is she supposed to read your mind about what arrangements you had with your son?
Because she knew.
How does she know?
Because he told her.
Oh, baloney. But you're assuming that.
True.
You're assuming that.
True.
How tall are you?
6 foot.
6 feet. Healthy, right?
As far as I know.
How old are you?
18.
And an adult. And if he's 17, he was still 6 feet tall and very healthy.
Yes.
Right? Are you suggesting to me, Miss Rivera, that your son went to Miss Berrios and said, I'm supposed to be minding my 2 siblings, but I'm going to blow them off and leave them here by themselves. So could you please give me a ride home? Is that what you think he said to her? That's what you're assuming, because you want to be mad at somebody. Instead of being mad at him, you're mad at her. What are you mad at her for?
Because it's not the first incident that this happens.
Put the blame where it's supposed to be. By the way, where were you July 3rd?
I was at my house.
Why weren't you taking care of your children?
Because he was old enough to do it, and he wanted to go to
You know,
Red Hot
just
and
a second.
Boom.
He was old enough to do it because you thought he was responsible enough
Correct.
to do it. Clearly, he wasn't.
Well, I learned my lesson in that part.
So that was your error in judgment. You don't take that out on her car.
I did not touch her car, ma'am.
Oh, yes, you did. Oh, yes, you did. There is no question in my mind that you broke the windshield wipers off her car and smashed down with your fist on her car, causing a dent. Absolutely no question in my mind. And I'm not going to put these 2 young people in a position of having to testify, because it just seems unfair to have to do that. I don't know if this is the girlfriend you want to be with or one of your other 2. That's your business. By the way, he probably does have other girlfriends. You understand that?
Yes.
Let me see the estimates of the damage to the car. Do you work?
Yes. No, ma'am.
What do you do?
I'm a student.
Where?
Lighthouse Christian Academy.
I have 3 estimates. And the cheapest estimate to do the work is $1,321.89. Is that right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
You know that they're still dating?
Yes.
You resigned yourself to that?
Actually, as long as he lives under my roof and I pay for his school, he had to abide by my laws.
Which is?
They want to see themselves, they could see themselves out of her house. I don't want him in her house because they're in illegal activities. And if he's in her house and there is a bus in her house and my son is put in jail for something that he haven't done, I'm going to hold her responsible for my
Why
son's
don't you hold
liberty.
him responsible? He's 18 years old. He's 6'1". You think that she can keep him out of her house?
Yes, she don't have to open the door.
Miss Rivera, you rely on him a lot?
Yes, I do.
I assume that you did rely on him a lot.
Yes, I'm a single parent. I raised him by myself.
You got to corral him. If you can't do it, don't expect other people to do it. If he doesn't follow your directions, and what you're saying is as long as he's living under my roof, breathing the air that I pay for, turning on the electricity that I pay for, eating the food that I pay for, then go out, get yourself a job, live on your own. You can do whatever you want to do.
That's right.
Your problem is that he is of help to you in the house taking care of your 13-year-old son.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,321.89. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Yeah, on the case number 336 on the calendar in the matter of Sirakowski versus Doe. You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated, ma'am. Have a seat, please.
Miss Sirakowski, you were running some sort of a baby contest or baby pageant.
Yes.
And the defendant entered her baby. She wrote out a check. Her baby entered the contest. Her baby didn't win. She stopped payment on the check. You want your money, right?
Yes, I do.
The defendant says that the contest was rigged, so she stopped payment on the check. Tell me about this pageant.
All right, Your Honor, this whole case is about this lady who has a major...
Shh. Pay attention to my question. Then we'll get along just fine. I said, tell me about the pageant. I'll figure out what this lady has or has not.
All right. It is a national pageant system. We did have a baby contest in it. Her baby did participate.
Where is this pageant or contest held?
It was held in Springfield, Illinois.
How many babies were entered?
There were 9 babies all told, 5 in her age division.
So tell me how it works. You advertised and you said there's going to be a baby contest. These are the age categories. And it says that you have to send in a fee for the contest?
Yes, you do.
Okay, and how much is that fee?
The deposit was $150. She pays the remainder of any fees when she reaches the pageant.
Now, what happens if they win this contest in Springfield?
If they win the contest, they win money.
How much?
She could have won a $500 bond. Actually, she could have won a $2,000 bond as an overall winner.
Overall winner
of one baby of the 2 age divisions.
Okay, so she sent in her $150.
Yes.
Correct?
Correct.
And then you travel to Springfield.
Correct.
And how much then does she have to pay once she gets to Springfield?
Depending on the events that she entered would decide how much more that she did owe.
What do you mean? I thought she just entered one baby contest.
There's several different categories.
Like what?
Photogenic, there is playwear, there is sleepwear, there are the prettiest eyes, hair, fashion.
And what do you win if you win the prettiest pajamas?
You can win a plaque, a laser engraved plaque.
A plaque?
Yes.
And each time she enters one of these little contests for the baby who looks nicest in their pajamas, there's an additional fee. Is that what you're telling me?
There is a fee for each thing that you do, yes, ma'am.
Sounds like a good business to me. And how many babies, for instance, entered in that contest, if you have there, the best-looking baby in pajamas?
They all entered.
All 9 of them?
Yes.
And how much was the cost of each one of them entering that?
Well, it was $35 per category for that.
And how many of these little categories, eyes, pajamas, playwear, how many of those are there?
There are 5 for the babies.
And for that, they get a plaque or a certificate if they win each one.
They could get a trophy.
Or a trophy.
The people who win money, crowns, and banners, and the big trophies are the queens.
I'm just talking about the things other than cash. So this is for you a business?
Absolutely, it's a business.
We're not talking about the baby who wins this contest gets to do some sort of a pilot for a movie. This is just pure ego on the part of parents. Is that right?
I would say so, yes.
Absolutely. It's just pure ego. Okay, Miss Doe, now I'll hear you.
Okay, we did do the pageant. My daughter was offered the prizes of the state queens, the savings bond that originated from her state pageant that I attended in Michigan. That's the only reason we attended her nationals, to receive the savings bond. We went to nationals, we did the pageant, everything was fine, except for she didn't have the savings bond. She said she would overnight it to me. So I started on my way home when I started looking over Lily's scores, which were amazing. So I called the hotel.
Just one second. So you telling me she owes you a savings bond?
Correct.
Do you owe her a savings bond from a previous pageant?
No, ma'am, I don't owe her a savings bond. She did receive the savings bond. And, in fact, I didn't owe her the bond. The Michigan director did. She overnighted the bond to me. I told Miss Doe the day of the crowning it hadn't arrived yet, but it was coming, and I would send it to her.
Did you send the bond?
Yes, ma'am, I sent the bond.
Well, I assume then you have the number of the bond, that you can trace it. Now, how much was the bond for?
$100, Your Honor.
It's a $100 bond. We're not talking about a lot of money. But if you didn't send the bond to her, and you were supposed to, that you have to do. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Good. Perfect. I don't want to see anything.
This is the letter she received with the bond, and it tells about the bond. So if she didn't get the bond, why didn't she speak up? I got this letter, but I didn't get the bond with it?
That's what she says.
She's lying.
That's what she
Please read
says.
that.
That's what she says. If she did not get the bond, she has to get the bond. All right, but let's go on with why you didn't pay the rest of these fees.
I proceeded on my way home. I didn't check the scores. I just figured, okay, my daughter placed fourth. She's done that before. She's had her wins. She's had her losses. Well,
how many contests have you entered with her?
Beauty pageants, I've done maybe about a dozen of them.
Why?
They have prizes up to $10,000 savings bonds. It's always worth a shot. But anyways, I started checking the scores on the way home. My daughter has amazing scores, 9.8, 9.9. For instance, sleepwear, she got two 9.8s and a 9.9. Possible 30 points, she got, what would that be, 29.5. I've consulted with two other directors who said it's not physically possible 4 babies scored higher than a 29.5 out of 30 possible. Judges don't give straight 10s and straight 9.9s. I called her on the way home twice. Once she was in the pageant still, once I left a voicemail. She didn't return them. I contacted the state director who said to try contacting the parents. Maybe the parents will tell me the daughter's scores.
That's not true.
Well,
don't speak.
I heard from 2 parents. One.
Yeah, listen to me.
Okay.
Don't give me hearsay.
All right.
Go ahead.
Okay. I tried emailing her twice when I didn't receive the bond. Didn't get any results. So I filed a complaint with PayPal, the one I paid her through. They tried contacting her. She ignored them also and refunded my money because they couldn't reach her. They gave her 10 days to respond to the notice.
Okay,
and
just one second. Just one second. PayPal. What's PayPal?
It's an online computer where you can pay them through your debit, credit.
They didn't have anything to do with the bond. You told PayPal that you didn't receive merchandise.
That would be the savings bond.
You wasn't supposed to receive any
second.
merchandise from me.
Shh. Don't speak to her.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Child Beauty Pageant Director Gladys Sirakowski says Victoria Doe owes for the entrance fee for her daughter. Victoria says she stopped payment because the pageant was rigged.
Still, the reason that you stopped payment was not because of this bond that you say you didn't receive,
she wouldn't return
that you
my calls
say you
about the
didn't
scoring.
receive. The problem was you thought your daughter should have won the contest. As a matter of fact,
Not
when you
one
talk,
place somewhere higher. Yes, I do. 2 other judges or directors agreed.
They weren't there.
There were 5 babies in the
listen
division.
to me. Don't speak to her. How many times do I have to explain to you not to speak to her? You say in your answer that you believe the pageant was rigged. That's why you didn't pay her. It had nothing to do with the bond.
That's not true.
Well, that's what you say in your answer, madam. And that's the only reason that this PayPal would not pay. If you had said to them, I entered my daughter in a contest and I think the contest was rigged and I want to stop paying, they would say, that's not a reason to stop. Listen, Ms. Doe, you want to schlep your daughter from one state to another to be in beauty pageants. That's totally up to you. I cannot discourage you from doing that. Sometimes she's going to win, sometimes she's not going to win. Sometimes somebody's going to be a favorite, and sometimes the whole thing is going to be a sham. If you have nothing better to do with your time than to take her around to show off her beauty, that's a very sad. How old is she?
2.
I would say at 2 you should be sitting home reading books to her, not schlepping her around from one beauty pageant to another. If you don't understand by now that this lady is in business to make money.
I understand that, Your Honor, but it's also her job to consult with parents.
Listen to, no, it
You
isn't.
can't take their money.
No, it isn't. You got to pay the money. You don't like this contest? Don't enter it again. You think without witnesses I'm going to find that this contest was rigged? It's not going to happen. I want to tell you something. Very, very good expression. Beauty fades, dumb is forever. What you're supposed to do if you have a daughter is to try to teach her that her mind is more important than her face. And I know that this isn't very good for the plaintiff's business, but if everybody out there would try to understand that what's in here is much more important long-term than what's here, and that usually children do not thrive from being schlepped from one place to another and primped and made up, dressed up, because then what you're telling them from a very early age is that they are judged by the way they look, which is a very stupid thing to do. Stupidity here does not get rewarded. She's entitled to her money, $321. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Very happy to be getting the money back that's owed to me.
If they weren't going to award my daughter properly, then I deserve the refund.
But I'm not happy with the picture painted of pageants and my business.
Everybody has their own opinions.
She's got a big case of sour grapes.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of AG versus Horry, step forward, please.
Rebecca Agee and her fiancé James Crane are suing their former friends Scott Horry and his wife Sarah for moving expenses and the value of personal property. The Horrys are countersuing for lost wages and emotional distress.
Mr. and Mrs. Agee, you and the defendants had been good friends. According to you, you were living in Oregon. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And both couples decided that they would be better off in their lives if they relocated to Iowa. Now, who came from Iowa?
We did, Your Honor.
So you agreed to sort of split the costs of moving and travel together. And once you got to Iowa, Mr. and Mrs. Horry were going to help you find a job. I don't know whether you were going to live together, but hopefully you would both live happily ever after in Iowa.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, it didn't work out that way. And according to you, things turned sour on the trip. You claimed that the Horrys owe you for expenses, property that they kept, mental anguish, and you also want them to pay for your trip back from Iowa to Oregon because it didn't work out. They say that they thought everything went along just fine. They have a counterclaim because they say that you aggravated them.
Breathe.
Breathe. All right. Let me hear it succinctly.
We thought that they were really good friends of ours when we met them. We moved into 10 Mile, Oregon, and they were our neighbors, and we invited them over many times for everything.
Let's cut to the chase. You decided to move to Iowa with them.
We moved to Iowa with them. When we got to their home in Iowa, they were rude to us. They put us in a small room with 2 cat boxes. I also have he's almost 8 months old now, my son. When we got there, we had no money. They were supposed to pay us for half of the U-Haul.
Which was how much?
$117.50. And they said that we owed them money instead.
What did they owe you money for?
We paid for everything, including the trailer. We agreed upon that we would also give them a place to stay, give them a job, and we did all of that. Above and beyond,
Your Honor.
when they had reached Colorado, when they ran out of money, I had gone...
They ran out of money in Colorado?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor. His parents helped them out to get gas, and they came up to Wyoming
And
finally
met us where we
and
were
met us
supposed to
there.
meet.
Did you need to borrow some money from his parents? That's easy to find out, so just answer my question.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And how much money did you take from his parents?
Somewhere around $30.
You mean the two of you were traveling with a new baby with absolutely no money? Now, wouldn't it have been more prudent to stay in Oregon and save a little more money? Save $500, $1,000. Save it up so that you're not driving around with an 8-month-old baby with no money.
We had the money, ma'am. We ended up paying for the U-Haul. Mr. Horry paid for the deposit on the U-Haul.
Are you saying $117? Is that what
No.
you're talking?
That's
how
half
much?
of it.
That's half of it. The full amount was $230 something, I believe.
Yes.
We would have had the full amount if they would have given us the money when we got there to make it all the way.
You're just not following me.
I'm sorry.
That's a big trip to make.
Yes, it
I mean,
is.
unless things are so terrible in Oregon that you weren't surviving there.
We were hoping for a brand new start, something new. They guaranteed him a job when
You
we got
can't
there.
guarantee anything. No, you don't rely on anybody for anything.
Yeah, we've learned that the past
Well, you
couple of
don't.
months.
All right. His parents gave you $30 for gas. Did you ever pay him back?
No.
We haven't made it that far
Okay.
yet.
What's next?
When they reached Cheyenne, Wyoming, I went up to Becky, knowing they had no money left, and said, would you rather me pay for the rest of your gas to get to Iowa since you have no more money left? And that was the new agreement.
Okay, and you had no money for, just a second, and you had no money for gas.
Right.
So how much did you pay for gas for their car?
Approximately around $200. And we also were paying for food, which was a new agreement, so we had no problem with that.
And we
What
are
was the
not
new-
suing for that.
Okay, so it's clear to me you had no money.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because you had to borrow $30 from his parents. And how many days were you on the road after you borrowed $30 from his parents?
Less than a day.
Less than a day.
And then you got to the house?
No, we met in Cheyenne and we drove.
How many days was it that
were
you
on the
lived
road.
in the house?
We were there for a little over 24 hours.
How much did you spend in gas? I'm trying to figure out if we've used up this $117.
We have receipts, Your Honor.
I'm asking you.
From what point, Your Honor? I don't understand.
From the point you ran out of money.
We ran out of money in Longmont to
How did
Iowa.
you eat? Who fed you?
We stopped for food once with them. And
What
that
about
was
when
it.
you got to the house? You said they put you
They
in a
had
room.
no food at
They
the
had-
house.
Yeah.
They had no electricity. We had to clean out the refrigerator.
Just a second. So how did you eat that day?
We didn't.
We went and bought them Pizza Hut.
Yes, we
We
had
bought
Pizza Hut.
them a whole bunch of food. The very next day, we also went out and bought them a big barbecue to have food, and we provided their baby with formula.
Does any of that sound right? You had no money.
No, ma'am.
How did your baby eat?
I had formula for him when I
Listen,
left
I'm not
Oregon.
bothering with this.
We-
They're not paying for your trip home. They're not paying for any of the moving expenses from Oregon to Iowa. They've already taken care of that. Now, you want to tell me, what about the value of personal property you say they kept? What personal property did they keep?
They pawned our television set and
TV. What happened to their television sets? The only
Yes, we did pawn it because she gave us every permission to sell all their stuff when they left, because they left and they had no intentions to come back, and she made sure that I
Yes,
kept
we
her
did, Your
green
Honor.
tub. She had a green tub full of personal belongings, like pictures, birthday cards, and stuff like that, that she had said meant so much to her. So I promised her and I swore to her we would not get rid of that stuff.
And for 2 days straight, it was, what do we do with your belongings?
That's
the
not
first
true, Your
night,
Honor.
it was,
he asked me
I don't,
how long I should keep. We should keep it.
the first night, I understand everything was in an outrage. She had said, I don't care what you do with my stuff, just don't get rid of my big green bucket.
Now, how much did you sell the TV for?
Somewhere around $80-some is what we got for it at the pawn shop.
Okay. Now, let me hear your counterclaim.
We're suing because, or countersuing because James had made threats to us, to our vehicles, and
That's
to
not
our
true, Your
home.
Honor. I don't want to hear
when
you
everything
from
turned
speaking.
violent and he was starting to push his way around, and we had to have him escorted off the property twice.
Your Honor.
Our neighbors.
When was that?
It had to have been in August. I'd say around the 25th.
And you haven't seen him since?
No, we
Your
haven't.
Honor.
Shh, speak not. And you haven't had any contact with him in many months, is that right?
Nope, not except for
What
through
else?
you. And loss of wages is all we're suing
What loss
for.
of wages for what?
We think it is a waste to be here.
You should have said no.
Yeah.
What, no isn't part of your vocabulary?
No.
There you go. Somebody calls you and says, would you like to have your dispute resolved before Judge Judy Scheindlin? And you say, no, I'm sorry, I don't want to miss work. There you go.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So you get nothing.
Ma'am.
Zippo.
That's cool.
I
Good.
have a,
Cool. You get $80 for your TV. And go. Have a happy life. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Yeah, this is case number 207 on the calendar in the matter of Thompson versus Pence.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Ms. Thompson, according to your complaint, the defendant was your supervisor at a work-study job that you had secured. And you say that she maliciously defamed you, causing you to be fired from that program, causing you all kinds of problems, losing your work-study grant, losing tuition, losing money, and you want her to pay you $3,000 in damages.
Correct.
Ms. Pence says she was, in fact, your supervisor. You were, in fact, on probation for the first 60 days of your employment there. She found your work unsatisfactory. She reported it, and you were dismissed. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. What kind of place is this where you were working?
Animal shelter.
You have a particular interest in that?
Yeah, well, I started, yes. I like animals. I liked working there. I started back in May before I was even put on the work-study program.
What do you mean you started? As a volunteer?
No, I was actual employee first back in May before the shelter was put on the work-study program through the college that I'm at.
So you worked there in the month of May?
Mm-hmm.
You worked there in the month of June?
Yes.
And then decided to use it as a work-study starting in
Correct.
July?
Correct.
Did you have to get approval from anyone at the shelter before you did that?
Yes, I did.
Who was that?
Tawny.
The defendant?
Yes.
Now, when did you start having trouble with her, Miss Pence?
I had started out with some troubles with her on the phone, giving advice. I had verbally reprimanded her for that. Then,
like what?
She had told somebody on the phone who had called in and lost their cat that maybe somebody had picked it up and used it for target practice because it was a Maine Coon cat and they looked something like raccoons.
Did you hear her say that?
The lady called me and complained to me herself.
Did you speak to the plaintiff about it?
Yes, I did.
And what did she say?
She said that she wasn't a grief counselor.
Is that what you said to her?
No, Your Honor.
What did you say to her?
I said that when the woman called in, she was very upset. She had lost her cat. I had no idea what a Maine Coon cat was. She explained to me what it was, that it looked like a raccoon, and she was telling me that maybe that she was afraid that somebody might have shot her cat because this is not only the first one that she has lost.
So what did you say?
I told her, I said, well, that could possibly well be that somebody might have shot it. I said, I really don't know. I don't know what to say to you.
Okay, fine. Anything else?
She was rude to customers.
How and when?
A lot of stuff happened when I wasn't there. I'm the supervisor, and of course I have to do something about it.
Is there anybody here who heard her?
There's several times when she had said things that Miss Carter had heard.
Miss Carter is an employee?
Yes.
All right, well, I'd like to hear from her. Okay. Miss Carter, how long have you been working at the shelter?
10 years.
Can you give me some sort of an idea of what you heard and reported to Miss Pence?
Well, there was one incident concerning a cat. Mrs. Thompson had put a couple of customers off saying, well, that's my cat, you can't have that cat, look at the other cats in here. And then one lady did come in and Mrs. Thompson stated to this person, you can only have the cat if you give me your address and phone number so I can come up and check on the cat periodically. The next day she came in and I was there and she said, you know, I didn't want to adopt the cat in front of her because I was afraid, you know, she would keep coming and bugging me. So,
why didn't she adopt the cat?
I had no idea.
Why didn't you adopt the cat?
I didn't want to adopt the cat. The cat had been there for a very long time, and I simply went to the manager at one point in time and said that if nobody adopts this cat, would you mind if I take her home?
You mean take her home and adopt her?
Yes.
That
yes.
is a lie.
I did ask her that, and that was before she went on vacation. When she left to go on vacation,
So why didn't you just take her if she'd been there for a long time?
Because she never told me if I could have her or not. And the witness over there can say, because she was there when the woman said, well, I'll be glad, you know, let me take your phone number and I'll call you, you know, maybe you can come over and we'll get together, you know, after the fact that she had already adopted
Is that the
cat.
only thing that you remember?
No, there was another incident that was I thought was pretty bad. Mrs. Pence here was on vacation, and I believe I went out on a run and to pick up some supplies at Walmart, and I ran into two co-workers that had worked with Mrs. Thompson the day before, and they had both complained that she had been cruel to the animals.
That she had been what?
Cruel to an animal in particular, one particular dog. So when I got back from my run, I just said, you know, I'm going to call a meeting, and I want everybody in the office, and I'm going to get down, you know, find out what the truth of the matter is. And I just brought the subject up. I said there was a dog that was hosed down yesterday with scalding hot water. I wasn't there. I want to know if this is true. Mrs. Thompson had denied it, and she said, well, the dog does love to play in water, and he did. But this particular hose was only attached to a hot water spigot. Mrs. Thompson said, yeah, I did do it, she said. But the water was not hot. And another person that was another staff member said she had seen steam coming off the dog.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Michelle Thompson says former boss, animal shelter manager Tawny Pence, defamed her character and caused her to be fired. Tawny says Michelle was rude to customers and cruel to the animals.
When did you report that you wanted her dismissed?
After she had made lewd sexual comments to our assistant dog warden, and she told me herself that he's good looking, and I told him that I would take him and tie him to a chair and do something, or take him time to a chair and take his clothes off and do something to him. And I said, you did not say that. She said, yes, I did. I said, that is sexual harassment, and I will not put up with it.
Did she have that discussion with you?
She did say something to me about that, but I never said anything about taking his clothes off.
Shh. Did you have any discussion with him at all? Because that's easy. I can call up and find out.
Yes,
you did.
I did.
That might have been inappropriate.
I didn't think it was. I was joking around with him. And
Bad, Ms. Thompson. Women can sexually harass men just as men can sexually harass women. And companies are responsible for that if they know about it and if they fail to take action about it. Do you understand?
I can understand that.
Okay. So you might not have said take your clothes off, but if you indicated to him that you thought he, you know, was a cute-looking guy.
To be very honest with you, I do not know what I said to him. I cannot remember.
But it was something that you didn't view as sexual harassment, but it was something social. Let us say social.
Then she had written to one of my rescue groups. A rescue group has come in and they rescue the animals and they get them altered and get them up to health. And she had sent them an email. She was bound and determined to let these people know we were not a kill shelter, and yes, indeed, we are.
Do you have a copy of the email? Can I see it?
Your Honor, when I wrote that, I was at home and I went on the website. It's like Pet Finders to see what animals are up for adoption. And it had on there that he was going to be killed and if he wasn't adopted. And I didn't know that that's what was going to happen to him. My understanding was that they were going to give him the heart treatment that he needed and that he was going to be adopted out. I mean, I didn't feel that I said anything bad to her.
She knew that we were a kill shelter and we had, you know, to put dogs down at times.
In any event, there was some issues between the two of you, is that right?
Yes.
And as a result of those issues, you picked up a telephone and made a call, or you filled out a negative report?
I just
What did you
dismissed
do?
her.
You
I
just
talked
fired
to
her.
my boss, and I said, you know, this is getting to be more of a problem than it's worth. I've tried. I've given her every leeway I have to, you know.
Whatever, you're entitled to fire her. Having a job, unless you have a contract, is just that. You serve at the pleasure of your supervisor. And not every firing is a lawsuit. Certainly, you acknowledge that you made inappropriate comments to another worker there. You said, I don't think that was really sexual harassment. But she said, I'd had enough. She's allowed to fire you. I don't know when it came in this country for every employee to feel as if they have a God-given right to their job.
But I honestly believe that she's doing this because of other things. She wants another position.
There was nothing.
That's
there's
all,
no position higher than mine.
That's all
I can't get
speculation.
any other position.
I'm speaking.
I'm sorry.
That's all speculation, Miss Thompson. Sometimes there is a clash of personalities. Let us say that this was nothing more than a clash of personalities between you and your supervisor.
Then why wouldn't she give me those reasons on firing me? Instead,
Let's
she
say
tells
that
me
that's all it was, a clash of personalities, and she doesn't want you working anymore. She's entitled to fire you.
Why lie about it? Why not tell me that this is why instead of lying?
I didn't say it was a clash of personalities. I said to you, you are not entitled to this job. She is getting information that other people are reporting to her, like this lady.
But if that was true, then why would I try to make all kinds of attempts to have these animals adopted out? When she was on vacation, I adopted out 14 in 2 days.
No,
if I was that mean and nasty to people, then why would they continue to come in there?
Listen to me, Miss Thompson. You're not following me. What I'm saying to you is there were certain parts of your job-related responsibilities that either she or other staff members had problems with, sufficient to cause her to say to the school, I don't want her working here anymore. These are the reasons that I have to give you that have been reported to me.
And she blatantly lied.
That have reported
Within my
to me.
position
That may
at
be.
my school,
you have no God-given right to a job.
That's fine. This isn't about the job. This is about my work study program that I got taken away from me, and with the study that I'm in can really damage my future career. I mean, I never didn't do anything to them. You know,
it's possible.
Okay, I didn't want a friendly relationship with her because she was my boss. You know,
That's
and
why
I
you invite
honestly
me to
believe that
concerts.
this is why this whole thing started. You know, her daughter was friends with my daughter. I didn't like the way that her daughter was approaching my 12-year-old. That's when this all started. And this all happened in June, the whole month of June.
Ms. Thompson, what you just said to me belies your position. Because what you said to me is that this problem started in June, and the whole reason that she terminated you is because of an incident involving your daughters. But you said this all happened in June. And if that was true, that she didn't want you around because of problems with your daughters, then she never would have signed the papers July 2nd, unless what you are accusing her of is being that maniacal and saying, I'm going to sign these papers, and then I'm really going to screw her up by having her fired.
And
I don't think that that's true. So your case is dismissed. That's all.
Thank you,
Parties
Your
are
Honor.
excused. You may step out.
You know, it's just all bull. It's just all bull. You know, and Teresa knows it. Teresa's just kissing her rear end because I don't know why.
If she wants to lie because she screwed herself up, then that's her problem. That's on her.
She stole money. She claims that there was no money donated in May or June.
She's a liar. I got receipts and documentation to back it up.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Massey Colbert versus Travis. Step forward, please.
20-year-old military cadet Destiny Massey and her boyfriend, 21-year-old construction worker Jack Colbert, are suing Jack's sister, 22-year-old homemaker Paula Travis, for stealing their personal property.
Your Honor, this is case number 328 on the calendar in the matter of Kitt versus Gadsden. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Miss Kitt, do you have family?
Yes.
Tell me about your family. How many are in your family?
I have 6 and custody of one other, so that makes 7.
Is there a Mr. Kitt?
My son and my nephew.
Other than that?
No.
So you have no husband?
Right.
Miss Gadsden, you want to tell me how many people are in your family?
I live alone right now. I have 3 children. My oldest is living in Atlanta with her father. My young 2 smaller children are with their grandmother. I'm in the midst of a custody hearing. Actually, I have a court date on November 22nd.
Have those children ever lived with you in the past year?
They left about exactly a year ago.
You 2 ladies are neighbors. Each of you has a complaint against the other, suing the other for $5,000. The complaint is really grounded in various forms of harassment. You claim, Ms. Kitt, that the defendant had you falsely arrested on 4 separate occasions, and that she has made numerous phone calls about you to Child Protective Services, alleging that the children who are in your care are out unsupervised. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Gadsden says that you're making her life a holy hell, and she is counterclaiming. So why don't you, Ms. Kitt, first tell me how long you've been living in the house that you currently occupy?
I moved there exactly January 1st of year 2000.
And how long, Ms. Gadsden, have you been living there?
I moved there 94. I've been there 5 years.
So you've been there a long time?
Yes, ma'am.
Why don't you, in a couple of minutes, Ms. Kitt, tell me all about your case against Ms. Gadsden?
Well, about a week after moving there, my children were outside playing. It was right after Christmas. We had just moved there. I walked to the door, and Miss Gadsden had a limousine come and pick her friend up. My kids, they admired it. They went outside to see, you know, run and play and look at it. When I seen them approach Miss Gadsden's side of the street, they was like, wow. So Miss Gadsden came out and said, y'all, MF children are not used to seeing things like this. Get the hell away from my yard. So I walked over to her side of the street. I said, ma'am, I don't know you, but these are my children. Don't speak to them in that tone of manner. So I went on in the house, went to work maybe 2 days later. My kid's babysitter lives directly next door to Miss Gadsden. I brought you a picture.
She lives next door.
And I went to open the door to get my kids. Miss Gadsden opened her door and said, B.I., hopped and spit in my face. And it was, I just can't explain, but I knew I was going to get her. And I did. The same day, I hit her. I popped her in her mouth. Not even a year later, maybe about in April, I kept getting police calls and at my house at work. I come home one day, the social services was there. She told me that she had had complaints 1 week after another concerning my kids being unsupervised. So I took her to where my kids were at a babysitter, which was next door to Miss Gadsden. And they found no foundings. After they did all this, and I guess she couldn't have me locked up anymore, she started with having me arrested on false charges. I had to be bailed out of jail over and over and over again. Up until this day, I'm still being arrested.
Arrested?
Yes, arrested.
You have the police reports?
Yes, I do.
Can I see them, please?
I have some copies of those and the charges that were all dismissed.
How many times did you have her arrested for damaging your car?
2 times, ma'am.
Did you see her damage your car?
Yes, ma'am.
How come the charges were dismissed?
The photos that I'd asked a friend to drop off for me at Walmart They did not get same day, development. They had 4 days. And when I went to court the next day, I had to wait until the day after court to get the photos. So the judge dismissed it because I didn't have proof, which made me very upset with my friend, of
Your
course.
Honor. You think I believe that story? I don't believe that story for a minute. Let's go back a minute, Miss Gatson. You have 2 young children. How old are your children?
6 and 8 years old.
The children were removed by social services? Yes.
They were not removed from me. They were placed with their father temporarily.
They were placed with their father by social services.
Okay. They were actually picked up. My oldest daughter was home with the children, and she walked out. She was, in a sense, envious of her 2 younger sisters. She thought that we had a closer relationship than she did. She'd come here from Georgia with her father, and she walked out and called the police and left the 2 children there. The police then took the children to my licensed daycare provider.
Miss Gatson.
And then from there.
Is what you're telling me that you had a misunderstanding with your older daughter, and because there was a misunderstanding with her, she was jealous of the 2 younger children, she left them alone, and because of that, social services placed your 2 children with their father?
Right.
And they've been with their father for over a year because of that?
No, ma'am. After placing them with him, well, they went immediately from my house to the licensed daycare provider that I had. From there, the father picked them up, and they allowed him to have temporary custody until I completed whatever needed to be done through the Division of Social Services.
But Ms. Gatson, there's a major piece there that you're not telling me, and
Yes,
I want
ma'am.
you to say, I was in family court for 25 years. I don't know if it's substance abuse involved.
No, none.
I don't know if there were prior incidents of leaving the children alone.
No,
I'm not sure. I don't know. But I know that if what the original story that you told me was that this was a misunderstanding with your older daughter, that your 2 younger children would have been back in a blink. It was not that.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Lynette Kitt says neighbor Tanya Gatson has had her falsely arrested on 4 separate occasions. Tanya says Lynette hangs out with drug dealers.
Yeah. So now I hear a whole bunch of false arrests and a whole bunch of stuff that you've been aggravating her. Now let me hear how she's aggravated you.
If I may begin with, there are other people living in her house, and they are individuals that aren't on leases there. They reach in their socks and they give her things that she pays for at the door, and I have witnesses that have written statements, and I've kind of highlighted where the drugs are in our neighborhood, and there's definitely drug trafficking going on in that vicinity. My last day coming home to my home,
Put that down.
I watched an individual walk up to Mrs. Kitt's window. There is an individual, I would not like to call his name, that is banned from our neighborhood, that was known to be shooting in our neighborhood. I've made several police calls about that is in Mrs. Kitt's home now. Mrs. Kitt, from 7 in the morning to about 2, 3 in the morning, it's like a blowhorn from across the street to the street behind my street to a lady by the name of Renee that she's now pulled a knife on and had Renee removed from the neighborhood. Renee pulled a baseball bat in return. On July, the 12th day, I rented that limousine for my friend, not in September. There were children from the neighborhood, yes, but they weren't Miss Kitt's children. It was Mrs. Kitt that, as I said, excuse me, coming down from my front grass, the kids were all looking, and yes, and I brought my friend outside as a surprise because he'd done a very kind thing for me. And I said, excuse me, please. And she replied with vulgar language, and I was really torn up that I had to be assaulted to do something nice for a friend by this lady across the street. I have, Your Honor, I don't know how else to say, just had about 7 court dates with Miss Kitt.
Just a second. Miss Kitt, would you tell me how many children who live in your home are your biological children?
4 of them are, Your Honor.
Confused. 5 or 4?
Well, I count my nephew. I have custody of him. But biologically, 4 of mine live there.
Okay. What other children live in your house?
None other, and no one else, Your Honor.
Have you ever been arrested for drug sales?
No, ma'am.
Other than the arrests that were caused by complaints by Miss Gatson, have you ever been arrested for anything?
Yes, assault and battery.
When?
2 years this year.
Who was the complainant in that case?
Another young lady.
From the neighborhood?
Yes.
And what was the result of that case?
Dismissed.
Did she allege that you assaulted her?
Yes. Yes,
and
she did.
Did you allege that you were the victim and that she assaulted you?
I said I didn't do it.
You said you just didn't do it?
I didn't do it.
Did you go to trial?
Yes, I did.
And you were acquitted after trial?
Yes.
And that's the only arrest you had anywhere?
Oh, no, ma'am. I have some like 10 years ago.
For
12
what?
years ago.
What else?
Driving.
Other than driving?
Forgery.
What year?
92.
After 92?
94.
For what?
No, 96 was driving.
Between 92 and 96?
Petty larceny. I don't remember the years, but I know charges.
When was the last time you were incarcerated? Think carefully.
96.
How long?
45 days.
Is that on a plea or a conviction?
Conviction.
Who watched your children?
Their fathers. Two of them were in DCS because the fathers were Navy.
Now, Ms. Gatson, I'm going to ask you the same question. Other than instances involving Miss Kitt, have you ever been arrested?
Yes, ma'am.
When was the last time you were arrested?
This was dated on, if maybe the deputy could help me.
No, just tell me. It had nothing to do with Miss Kitt.
Indirectly, yes, ma'am. This was a summons that was for my children's father and I for court, and Miss Kitt thought this was a summons for her and I in court, and I have a witness here that watched her take the summons off my door.
Other than anything having to do with Miss Kitt, have you ever been arrested?
This is a failure to appear.
Listen to me very carefully, Ms. Gatson. Other than any instance that even tangentially involves Miss Kitt, have you ever been arrested?
I don't think so.
Don't give me I don't think so.
In my home, prior to 2000.
In your home, out of your home, in the theater, in a restaurant, in the street. Have you ever been arrested
When
in a
this
car?
individual came to my door,
Just answer yes or no.
Yes.
You have been arrested.
The officer accidentally arrested me, and he was the one that had assaulted me.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Other than that instance, madam,
Yes,
other than that instance, prior to 2000, have you ever been arrested?
Prior to 2000?
Yeah.
I was not arrested. I turned myself in after I found that the children's father's girlfriend filed a warrant against me in the city of Chesapeake, a counter warrant, and actually the incident occurred in the city of Norfolk.
I want you ladies to listen to me very, very carefully. Are you involved in a custody dispute now with the father of your children?
No, ma'am. He is not participating in what social services has required. I've completed all of those things.
Oh, he's not giving you back the kids so fast.
He doesn't have the children, ma'am.
Where are they?
His mother and sister have the children around the corner from my house. I asked them to get them out of foster care because they were taken from him because he had no place to stay.
Okay, you have an older daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
And two younger ones. You just told me 2 minutes ago that the two younger children were with their father. Did I hear that right? Did you hear that?
Let her explain.
Okay.
You just told me that they weren't removed, that they weren't in foster care, that they were with their father. I said that the state take your children. You told me no.
No, I apologize.
Wait, please, give me a break. Listen, you two ladies deserve each other. I would suggest the following to you. Listen to me very carefully. If you're going to live next door to each other, I suggest you have nothing to do with each other. Other than that, I don't want to be bothered with you. Goodbye.
These are excused. You may step out.
Envy. There's a lady that's on the porch on a chair all night long.
She never lets up. She let the judicial system keep me down, but it's not going to keep me down.
The young lady wanted a lot of attention.
I just know it'll never be over.
I think I've been getting all the attention in the neighborhood.
I'm a good friend. I would give her a glass of water. She needed it off the street.
I've got limousines, Lexuses, SC Lexuses, all sorts of nice things coming through, and nice people coming to visit.
She's a serial neighbor.
Evening gown, dates, tuxedos, and she has nothing.
She spit in my face.
I opened my door, heard her on the porch at the neighbor's house, reached over to check my mail, and someone stepped up and did that.
Something is wrong. Definitely wrong.
I'm moving. You'll never see me again.
She needs a straight jacket.
I'm gone, Mrs. Kitt.
I'm gonna keep praying.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Hall versus Carlton. Step forward, please.
Registered nurse Cynthia Hall is suing artist Della Carlton for the money she paid to have a mural painted. Cynthia says Della did a poor job.
Ms. Hall, you hired the defendant to paint a mural in the nursery, in your baby's nursery.
Yes, Your Honor.
Paid her $200.
Yes.
She painted the mural. You say it was less than quality work. You want your money back.
Yes, Your Honor.
Defendant says she did a reasonable job, and you're entitled to nothing. How did you find the defendant?
I went to a local baby store called Gore's in Sacramento, and they had a portfolio of her, and she really had a really nice portfolio there. So I was kind of at the end of my pregnancy and really wanted to get someone to do the mural for me right away. So.
And in her portfolio, did it list references?
I didn't see any references.
Did you ask her for references?
No, I didn't.
And she came to your house?
She came to my house.
First you called her on the phone?
Yes.
Did you set a price with her on the phone?
Over the phone, we didn't really set a price. She actually came out, and I kind of discussed with her what I was wanting, but no price was set over the phone.
And so you discussed price when she came out to the house?
Yes.
And she was going to charge you?
Originally, I told her $300 for the labor.
And then?
Then later I realized I hadn't told her that I usually got $30 for supplies. So the total cost, I priced it at $330.
Okay.
And then she told me that she was on a limited budget and that she didn't want to spend any more than $200, including supplies. So I agreed to that, and I came out to her house and did the artwork.
And how long did it take you?
4.5 hours plus.
Okay, can I see the picture of what you did?
Yes, Your Honor. What I have here is her photos. I have the photos from Gore's because she did the bathroom there, a mural in the bathroom at Gore's.
I'm not interested in the photos from Gore's. You made the selection. You selected her as an artist. That's your problem, Miss Hall.
Okay.
And she painted on the wall these little butterflies?
Yes, they're about 6 inches. She stenciled them. I was not expecting those things. I was actually expecting her to give me something more three-dimensional, something that I could actually kind of come to life. I asked for a dragonfly in specific.
Upside down, that looks pretty good to me. She did all these flowers here?
Yes.
Looks lovely.
You can see the eraser marks that kind of still showed through. After it dried, it really, really showed through.
Listen, you didn't pay for a $5,000 Picasso, madam. You paid $200 to spruce up your baby's nursery. It looks like she did an absolutely fine job. Baby fine?
Baby's fine.
Boy or a girl?
Girl.
Looks around at the flowers?
Baby looks around at the flowers.
Very good. If you don't like the flowers, paint over them.
But pencil marks showed through.
You paid $200 for this artwork. You got $200 worth of artwork, maybe a little bit more. Stop complaining. Don't muddle up your life with things that are really unimportant. She came to your house twice. She came first to give an estimate. She gave you an estimate of $330. Then you said, I can't spend more than $200. She said, okay, I'll do it for $200. She came out, she did the work. She was there for 4 hours. Certainly she's entitled to be paid for her labor. You paid her for her labor after the work was done. Is that right?
Yes.
Then later you looked at it, you said, I don't like this. I see a pencil mark. I see a smudge. I see an eraser mark.
That's because after it dried, it really showed through. You could see all
I want to
that.
tell you something. You certainly can't see that from the pictures. All you see from the pictures is lovely, light artwork. So concentrate on important things, not things that aren't important. The case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may. Yeah, this is case number 464 on the calendar in the matter of White versus Askins. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Miss White, the defendant used to be your boyfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
And according to your complaint, he had you falsely arrested
Yes, ma'am.
for violating a restraining order that he had against you, and you want him to pay to the tune of some $5,000 for having you falsely arrested. Mr. Askins says that he could have made an honest mistake.
Yes.
That's your defense. When were you arrested on this violation of the protective order that he had?
29th of August, 2002, ma'am.
And when had he received his protective order?
19th of July, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Askins, why did you feel as if you needed a protective order against Miss White in July?
Because she'd caused problems at work. She's caused problems when I'd go out with my friends. She'd come by a friend's houses.
Did she ever damage any of your property?
No, ma'am.
Did she ever assault you or touch you in any way?
No, ma'am.
When had you separated from Miss White?
Around May.
So far, is that correct, that you separated in May?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a final protective order?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you consent to that? Or was there a trial?
There was a trial, ma'am.
When was the trial?
The trial was on the 1st of August, ma'am.
Okay. He filed for a protective order because he said you were harassing him. Then on August 1st, there was a trial on his request for a permanent order for a year or 3 years.
Forever, as far as I knew. It'd be permanent.
Nothing's forever. Let's say for a year. There was a trial. Did you have a lawyer?
No, ma'am.
Did you testify before a judge?
No, ma'am.
How could there be a trial? Did you have a trial in secret somewhere?
We had a trial, ma'am, and we were moved to a different courtroom to a judge that usually doesn't do restraining orders.
I don't care whether it was a judge. Did you have a trial before a judge and give testimony before a judge?
Mr. Askins did, ma'am.
And what about you?
No, ma'am. He just asked me if I wanted any contact with Mr. Askins, and I stated no. At that time, he made it permanent.
All right, so on 8/1, he was granted a permanent order of protection. Now, Mr. Askins, I want you to tell me what happened on August 29th that caused you to have Miss White arrested.
I was over at a friend's house. It was 2 other friends and myself. We were outside. It was late, probably 2, 3 a.m., something like that. And a car pulled up. A woman got out, started cussing. It looked like Mandy White.
Just a second. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. You're outside, and a car pulled up. Were you sitting outside on somebody's porch? Were you sitting outside on a curb? Were you sitting outside on a grassy knoll? Where were you sitting?
Sitting outside on the porch.
And how far away was the truck?
Probably 30, 40 feet.
And it's dark outside?
Yes, ma'am.
So a truck pulls up, and very slowly you're going to tell me what happened.
A woman got out, started yelling cuss words.
Who got out?
A woman that looked like Mandy White got out, started yelling cuss words. I called the police and told them that I couldn't be 100% certain that it was her, but it did look like her, and the car was like hers. And from there, they arrested her, and the DA picked up the charges against her.
You mean you're sitting 40 feet away, and the person actually got out of the car and started to curse at you, and you couldn't tell that that person was your girlfriend or not?
Not 100% with it being dark.
Miss White, before the 29th of August, could you tell me why you were bothering him?
I wasn't, ma'am.
Why would he think you were bothering him?
I don't know, ma'am.
Where were you on the evening of August 29th?
I was at home asleep, ma'am.
Could you tell me where you were when the police arrested you?
Yes, ma'am. I had left for work that morning at 4:40, and we go to Peterson Air Force Base to pick up a van, and we drive it to Schriever Air Force Base. And I had gotten my weapon, and I was on post already, and my supervisor came and relieved me, and they took my weapon away in front of everybody and said that I needed to go to the commander's office. We went to the commander's office, and they then told me that I was under investigation for disobeying a lawful order, which was to stay away from Mr. Askins. Then they also told me that I had a warrant out for my arrest. So Master Sergeant took me to the sheriff's office in Colorado Springs, and they arrested me at that time. And then the Air Force did an investigation also, and everybody was interviewed and investigated while I was
I'd like
there.
to see the interviews.
Yes, ma'am.
How many friends were you with that night, sir?
2 friends.
Your 2 friends lied to the police, right?
No, ma'am.
Oh, yes, they did. Seen the results of this paperwork and the investigation that was done?
No, I haven't.
Well, I'll tell you that when your 2 friends told the responding officer, because you called the police and you had some time to talk to your friends before they arrived, your friends told the police that you had all gone outside to smoke a cigarette and that your 2 friends each told the police that they saw her pull up into the driveway, curse you, scream at you. That's what they told them, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. And so did you. There's nothing in this original report that suggests, sir, that you told the police that you weren't quite sure who it was. It looked like Miss White. You and your friends told the police initially that there was no question that it was Miss White. Want me to read you what you said?
Sure.
He, that's you, stated that he went outside to smoke a cigarette, at which time he observed the dark bronze Saturn pull into the driveway. Askins stated that at this time, White opened the driver's door of the vehicle and stepped outside. Askins stated that White then began to curse at him. He stated that after listening to White curse at him, he told her to leave, at which time she did. Where is there any question in that statement that you weren't sure of the identity of the person? Then he goes on to interview, stated that he was watching television when he heard someone yelling. He stated that he got up, looked out the front door, at which time he witnessed White yelling at Askins. And then Mr. also stated that he witnessed White yelling at Askins. And then I have a letter saying that The military has indicated that they will recommend that charges be filed against all 3 individuals for filing false charges against her. Anything ever happen with that?
Not that I'm aware of.
Mm-hmm. The statements that each of the 3 of you gave to the responding officer were directly contradictory to the statements that they gave later. That's what it says here. You want to look at this?
No, ma'am, that's okay.
Well, Mr. Askins, how do you respond to that, sir?
That their statements were different?
Mm-hmm.
How were they different?
Well, it's different when you say it could have been my ex-girlfriend, but it was dark and I couldn't be sure. That's different from it was Miss White. No question. That's different. Don't you see it's different?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you think of any reason, Miss White, why Mr. Askins would want to be vicious and vindictive?
Because I broke up with him, ma'am.
Did you?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about it.
We were together for about 6 months, and we had lived together. And he was very, very controlling. He would get upset when I wanted to see my family, and he wouldn't let me go. So I told him we should just be friends, and we were going to sleep in different bedrooms because I had a 2-bedroom apartment. He said that was too weird, and so he moved out. And then he just kept following me, and his truck was parked near my apartment at all times of the night.
Did Miss White break up with you?
It's more of a mutual thing than anything.
Explain it to me.
We were just fighting, we're really getting along, and
Did she tell you that she wanted just to be friends and that you could share the apartment but not her bedroom? Did she tell you that?
yes. And I did move out and also left like certain items, so like a couch, so she wouldn't be without a couch and stuff like that.
But she broke up with you. She told you she wasn't interested in continuing the relationship as it had been. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, so can you explain to me what would be her rationale? What would motivate her to stalk you if, Mr. Askins, she broke up with you? Tell me why she would come stalking you and cursing you.
I have no idea.
She's not psychotic, is she?
I don't know.
Are you?
No.
Miss White, I have to make a judgment, and it's a very serious judgment that I have to make, because usually when you have a victim of a crime, if we were to award civil damages to someone who was harmed by being falsely arrested, that might have a chilling effect on the entire justice system, because people would have fear of coming forward, unless you can demonstrate to my satisfaction or to a court's satisfaction that someone maliciously and without cause filed a report that they knew or believed was either untrue or probably not true, and the police acted on it. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So what do we have here? We have a guy who was told to get out of the bedroom, that you were no longer interested in having a romantic relationship with him. He's out at 3 o'clock in the morning with some of his buddies, drinking. The 3 of them tell the exact same story to the police, that they saw you at a time when it was confirmed, evidently, through investigation that you were home. Couldn't have been you. As a result of which you were arrested, you were humiliated, and you want to be compensated.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm satisfied that what he did was malicious. And this is probably one of the first times that I've been so satisfied. I'm satisfied what he did was malicious. What he did is because he's a big baby. What he did is because he's probably too short. For a variety of reasons. In any event, I'm awarding you what you request, $5,000. That's all.
Yes, ma'am.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It's been pretty traumatic.
Got phone calls in the middle of the night, everything from her.
I think he's just a mean person.
Keep her away from me.
He started controlling her when they were dating, and he didn't like the fact that she didn't want to be with him anymore, and he was doing anything that he could to make her life horrible.
The victim, me, I feel like I am.
Finally, we have justice. Judge Judy is the best.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Morgan versus King. Step forward, please.
Carpenter Gwen Morgan is suing her niece, 20-year-old hotel reservationist LaToya King, for vandalizing her car. LaToya denies the charge.
Ms. Morgan, I've read your complaint. The defendant is your niece, and it is your claim that she vandalized your car. You're going to tell me why you think she would do such a thing, and then, more importantly, you're going to tell me what proof you have that she did it. So let's start with the whys first. Why would she vandalize your car?
Well, around the beginning of December, I was called to my mother's house.
Your niece was living with your mother?
She lives with my mother.
For how long were you living with, is that your grandmother?
I lived with her all my life.
She ill?
Yes.
Who else lives there at the house with you?
Right now, just my grandpa and my son.
Is he all right? Your grandfather?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so then LaToya came home, and LaToya and the young man came to my mama's house, and we got into an argument because she didn't want the check to go direct deposit. She wanted to come to the mailbox.
What check is she talking about?
This SSI check. I have the paper.
SSI check for whom?
My nephew, which is her half-brother.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
Who's in charge of your brother's
My
SSI
grandmother.
check? Your grandmother is. So what do you have to do with that?
Well, the thing is, I'm my mother's provider because my mother's ill and mostly bedridden.
What do you mean she's your provider? What does that mean?
In-care health care provider for the elderly people.
You don't live there?
No, I don't. I don't, but I was hired to take care of her.
Whatever, I don't want to get into that. You got into an argument with your niece over who was going to be in charge.
Over a check. Whose check was going to be?
You got into an argument with your niece over who was going to be in charge of finances.
Whether the check come
I don't care.
direct
What?
deposit or
Finances, please. I don't have
Okay,
time
fine.
to go into the whole thing. It's not necessary.
Okay.
That's what the argument was about.
Yes.
The argument was about money.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Gwen Morgan says after a family argument, her niece, LaToya King, vandalized her car. LaToya says her aunt has a lot of enemies.
Miss Morgan, when was the argument about money? Give me the date.
On December 27th.
When was your car vandalized?
Well, I woke up on the 28th I got out there about 6 o'clock a.m.
And your car was vandalized?
Yes.
You have pictures of the car?
Yes.
Can I see them, please?
Thank you.
Okay, clearly somebody vandalized your car. They flattened your tires, scratched it up, painted it up. Nasty. Now, the next question is, what proof do you have that your niece was responsible for this damage?
Okay, after the disturbance, she called the police and told the police all kind of lies where he just wrote an incident disturbance report. So I went home to my apartment, and she kept calling my house, telling me that if I didn't come back over there to fight her and the young man, that she was going to come over to my house and tear my car up. She wanted me to come out in the rain and fight with both of them.
Do you have a police report?
No. I just have the case number for the police.
Okay. Ms. King, want to try to explain to me what happened at your house?
First of all, she has a lot of enemies, but I know that's irrelevant. But the reason why we got into an argument was because she was trying to put her name on my brother's check, which my grandmother didn't want it. And how we got into an argument, me and my boyfriend was already at the house, and she came in. I didn't know what was going on. She was holding my grandmother down, making my brother go through her purse looking for his bank statements and all this. Why? I'm not sure.
What do you mean she was holding your grandmother down?
She was holding my grandmother down, making
What does that
my
mean?
brother, like forcing her to not grab her purse from my brother. Which my brother is mentally challenged, so he's easily to be manipulated. So it's not his fault or anything, but she was holding her down. So I'm like, what are you doing? And then that's when we got into an argument. She was trying to fight me, but I didn't want to fight her. I just called the police.
And the police responded?
Yes. They came and they asked her to leave.
Is that correct? Did they tell you to leave?
They asked me to leave.
Do you know anything about her car?
No, ma'am. I mean, I didn't do anything to it, but I heard about it.
Why don't you tell me what you heard?
Her friend called my grandmother and told her that Gwen was hurt. Somebody had vandalized her car, and she was all upset to please call her. My grandmother told me, LaToya, Gwen may be hurt. The reason why my grandmother wasn't talking to her is because she took my grandmother to court and tried to sue her for $500 for the paperwork that she did for my brother, which my mom asked her to do.
What do you know about who vandalized her car?
I don't know anything about who vandalized it. That's how I heard it.
Did you vandalize her car?
No.
Miss Morgan, she may have vandalized your car, and he may have vandalized your car. You the boyfriend?
Yes.
I don't know. It's possible, but possible doesn't go in court. Do you understand, Miss Morgan? You have to have proof.
Well, he told me that they did it.
Really?
Yes, he told me.
Oh, let me, just a second, step up. Miss Morgan, what did he say to you, and when did he say it?
He taunts me all the time.
What did he say?
He said, ha, B, that's why we tore your car up. You tried to sue the wrong person, but I tore your car up, me and LaToya tore it up, and they told me over the phone that they was going to tear it up if I didn't come out to fight. And
where were you when he said to you, "We tore your car up"?
Going down my mother's main cross street. I go over to by my mother sometimes because I know people that live in the area because I've been over there all my life.
Don't make a big story for me. I'm asking you a question. Stop making it up as you're going. When and where were you when he first told you that he tore up your car, madam?
It was on a Sunday 2 weeks ago on the corner by my mother's house on Cypress Street.
I don't believe that, Miss Morgan. I don't believe that he told you 2 weeks ago, this past Sunday, as you were going by your mother's house. I believe that they might have done it. That's not the issue. I believe you just made up that story.
No, he taunts me all the time. He does. Every time he sees me, he teases me, telling me that they tore my car.
Well, then he's not a very nice person. Did you ever do that?
I don't speak to this lady. I do not speak to her at all.
Miss Morgan, when you come to court, unfortunately, you understand you have to have proof. You don't have any proof that your niece tore up your car, and you don't have any proof that he tore up your car, and I don't believe that he admitted it to you, so your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ